7 steps to increase your sales. Are you looking for proven strategies that have lasted the test of time? Ones that don't make you sound salesy, but get you results? If so, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Jason from GetUncommonResults.com. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this, because today, for those of you who know me, know I love book studies. And the current book we are studying with our clients is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. Phenomenal book by a guy by the name of Frank BETTGER, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Apologize if I got that wrong. But either way, it's a phenomenal book. And in going through this book, I wanted to share with you a specific chapter. I believe this is chapter 31. And in it, he has 7 tips, 7 strategies to increase your sales. Now, in this book, I would say every chapter has one amazing golden nugget. But in today's video, I want to cover the 7 most important ones I found so far that I want to share with you. And of course, I'll add my piece and my spin on it. So get ready, get a pen, get some paper, and get ready to take some notes. Point number 1. When it comes to the average sale, what he goes on to say is that there's 4 steps in which you go through, or 4 steps within the process or the selling cycle that you go through. The first step is to get people's attention. Have you ever had someone come up to you and just try to sell you something before you even knew what they were talking about, what they were offering? Yeah, I know it's happened to me. Has it happened to you? So that is a guaranteed way just to piss people off or get them to shut down. So what Frank talks about in his book is to number 1 is to attract attention, get their interest. And in other areas of the book and in my own experience, one of the easiest ways to do that is to truly be interested in them. Not trying to be interesting, not trying to be the cool guy on the block, not trying to come in there and own the conversation, but rather add value to the situation, add value to the conversation, and be interested in them. Ask them questions about their business, about their life, about their wants, about their needs, find out their biggest problems. Really focus in on them and really show them that you care about who they are and genuinely want to understand what it is they need. Step number 2 is creating interest. Now, just like in number 1, when I said get attention, you get attention by asking questions, right? And showing that you're interested in them. How you generate interest is by asking more what? Questions. Be genuinely interested in the key areas that have the biggest impact with them. The things that they get excited about or they are passionate about. Show more interest by asking more questions specifically about that topic. Go deeper, learn more, and get a better understanding, which will lead you to point number 3, which is to create desire. Because in the point of creating interest, on step number 2, in that point of going deeper, you're going to identify some challenges, some obstacles, some problems, the things that are holding them back. And in that conversation, you can create desire for the solution to that problem. And if you can create the desire for the solution and you've done the first few steps properly, someone is going to know, believe, and trust that you actually understand where they're coming from. And if you understand where they're coming from, then you can definitely be a person of interest for them to listen to when it comes to the solution. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm going to try that again. If I come to you and instead of trying to sell you, I genuinely care about you. I show interest in what it is you do or what it is you're offering. I then get interested in the challenges you're facing and I go deeper and ask specific questions. Like, for example, tell me about your business. And then I find an area of your business, I go deeper into it. Let's say you're working with clients and you're running into challenges with objections. Well, what kind of objections are you getting? Right? Well, have you ever figured out a way to overcome those objections? Create a little bit of a desire and understanding of what it is that is really stopping them. When you create that desire, get them interested in the option or the solution, then you can go for the close, which is as simple as something like, would you like a solution to that? You know, I have some ideas. Do you mind if I tell you about them? Right? hey, I have a product or service that will cover just that. Would you be interested in this? Now you can tell about your products or service. So that was the first step. Follow the 4 steps. First, get attention. Second, show interest. Third, create desire. Number 4, go for the close. Point number 2. When it comes to the second way to increase your sales without sounding salesy, but still getting the point across and getting them excited, is to summarize. Well, what does he mean by that? Well, when I was reading the book, the detail, my understanding of it at least, is that when you go through the problems and the challenges that someone faces, at the end, have you ever had a scenario where so if I hear you correctly, you are saying that you need this, you're working on this, and this is what you're trying to achieve? Is that correct? Yes. Well, why would we want to summarize it? The biggest reason is because, one, when I summarize it and I confirm with you that I understood you and that I've got it correctly, what I'm really doing is showing you I understand you, that I get the challenge. And if I'm wrong, it gives you a chance to correct me, to put me back on the right path. Whenever possible, you actually want them to summarize it. So if I go, based on what I'm hearing, you're saying you need this, you're looking to achieve X, and you want to do it by this date. Am I correct by that? Yes. Is there any other points that you have that you would add to it? Is there anything that I'm missing? And then that gives them a chance to summarize it as well, especially if you're summarizing the solution, right? So another way to use summarize is focusing on the solution is, so based on our conversation, what is your next step? Now they're going to summarize what their next steps are. And the beauty of it, my favorite part is, often if I've done a good job finding out their wants and needs and explaining options and solutions for them, when I say, based on our conversation, what do you see as the next step? Often they say, well, the next step is I want to sign with you and take this program so that I can achieve X, Y, and Z. So whenever possible, remember, summarize. Either you summarize what you're hearing or have them summarize what the next steps are or what the solutions are that you just finished talking about. Sales tip number 3 to increasing those sales and skyrocketing your results is a single question. After you present the solution, after you present the next steps, after you show them a proposal or show them what your options are, it's asking one question. How do you like it? He goes on to say that this is magic. Because think about it. If I show you a solution, like for example, my 12-week results accelerator program where we increase your sales by 15 to 32%, and I go through the full pitch, and afterwards I ask, how do you like it? What are you going to answer with? Well, there's a couple of options, right? You might tell me, that sounds amazing. I love it. When can I get started? Or you might say, well, it sounds good, but I'm unsure about a couple of things. And then you're going to ask me some questions, which give me a chance to go deeper and really refine what it is I'm presenting to you and make sure you're clear. Or you're going to say, you know what, I don't think that's right for me, which will allow me to ask a follow-up question to then find out why it's not right for you or what it is you're really looking for. And it gives me a chance, instead of a yes or no answer, rather than you just rejecting my proposal, by asking, how do you like it? If you say you don't like it, we still get to have a conversation. We still get to go deeper into that world and find out your true wants and needs. And it still gives me a chance to adjust my proposal to suit what it is you're looking for. Make sense? Now for number 4. Now I loved this statement. He said, welcome objections. See, the best prospects are the ones with objections, which at first sounds counterproductive. It sounds against what we would all believe, right? Usually if someone goes, your price is too high, you think, crap, this person doesn't want to buy, or no, that doesn't sound like the right product for me. And it's like, shit, what else can I offer? I messed this up, or the sale is done. When the reality is that your objection, a prospect who has an objection is a prospect who's interested and just needs some clarity, needs some more information, needs to be reassured, or is giving you a second chance to go back to that discovery phase and find out what their wants and needs really are. Remember the attention, interest, desire, close? Well, if you messed up the first 3 steps, that objection is a chance to go back there and find out what they really want and need. So whenever someone gives you an objection, welcome it and use it as an opportunity to find out what they really want, what they really need. And remember, that is them giving you the chance to continue the sales process because they obviously like who you are, what it is you do, or your product or service. There's something about those that they are interested in. So welcome those objections. Speaking of objections, leads us to tip number 5. That when someone gives you an objection, rather than trying to respond, rather than, for example, you saying your price is too high and me going, well, I've done all the comparisons on the competitors and my price really isn't that high, yada, 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 all that bullshit that you probably don't want to hear. Rather than trying to combat the objection with a response, tip number 5 is to ask why. I know, it seems logical, right? If you say your price is too high and I say, well, why do you think that? Now you're going to give me a reason for why you think the price is too high. It could be that, they have price shopped and my competitors are cheaper. It could be that they don't see the quality of the product. I haven't really emphasized that this is a higher quality than what's standard on the market. Or maybe what they really are saying, because I've had this a lot, most of the time when someone says the price is too high, usually it's too high for my budget, that I have a set budget to work within. So now by asking why, I get the opportunity to, 1, learn valuable information, which is how much do they got to spend, and 2, customize my proposal to stay within their budget or find out what other budgets they have that we can leverage off of by adding more value so that we can increase what they have available to them. Because remember, in a case like that, you just have to help them sell their team or sell their manager or sell the CFO, right? So by asking why, you can go deeper into their information, into their world, and understand what they're really thinking. The other question he adds onto it is using the question why, or is there anything else with that? Or is there anything additional you would like to share? Is there any additional reasons why you would say that? So those are the 2 keys. When someone gives you an objection, ask why and ask, is there anything else? Right? Get the full story. Don't just jump in with a response just because you have something to say. Put your head on pause, tell it to shut up for a second, listen to what they have to say, and get the full story from them. Number 6, I love this one because you're all going to understand why, but most of you still don't do it. All right, so tip number 6 for increasing your sales is go with your agreement in hand. Have it ready. Have it filled out. Any of the information you already have, if you already have their name and their address and their business information, fill that part out. If anything you don't have filled out, put an X beside it. The reason why is because 1, you're assuming the sale first off. 2, you're simplifying the process that the moment they say, yes, I want to move forward, you are ready to take action and get those agreements. But most importantly, it shows that you're confident in what it is you're offering. You don't want to be cocky about it. You don't want to be aggressive about it. None of that crap that tends to be that stigma that people have for salespeople. You want to avoid that, but you do want to be prepared to simplify the process and make it as easy as possible. He also goes on to say to put the X on it, so instead of having to show, it's clear. Some people, they use tags, some people use highlights, but when you go to the agreement, is go, great, to move forward, we have this term, write it in, and then have you sign the X here. Right? And you can point to the X instead of having to try to flip through the pages or create the confusion. The idea is to make the closing process as simple as possible for the customer. Right? And finally, most important of all, tip number 7, ask for the check. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in this situation that you have someone who's excited, they're eager, they're ready to move forward? And then when it comes to the deposit, they go, well, do you mind if I just send you the deposit tomorrow? So you have this agreement. Usually it's verbal. Most people, if you don't ask for the check, they also don't get the signed agreement. But have you ever had it where you then go, that you have an agreement, you have a verbal agreement, and then the next day you follow up and they don't answer, or they delay more, and then they delay again, and then they delay again. I don't know about you, but one of the rookie mistakes I used to make is just that, not asking for the deposit, not asking for the payment rate then and there. And it would cause a month's worth of work, following up, chasing clients. Even worse, I would go all excited back to the office, announce my sale, but all the sales I made each week never ended up to how many actual contracts I got signed or money I had in hand, which made me look really, really bad. Not only that, but it affected this. Because I would have all these sales, but these people would be disappearing. So save your headache, save the challenge, get the deposit right then and there. Why? Well, one of the biggest reasons is that people take things more seriously when they have money in the game. When they put money down, they're more likely to do the action steps and the steps that they need to take. Also, it takes rid of that buyer's remorse and the crap that goes on their head. Because if someone says, yes, we're going to move forward, but doesn't make the payment, doesn't sign the contract, now the next day, the day after that, they're sitting in here thinking, well, is that really what I want? Is that really what I need? And they're only basing it off what they remember from the presentation, not the experience in the presentation. So wherever possible, every single time, ask for the check, ask for the deposit, ask for the signature. Well, there you have it. There's your 7 steps to increasing your sales. If you like this video, you want more videos like it, be sure to subscribe, or of course, leave a comment down below. Again, like I mentioned, this came from our book study, How to Raise Yourself from Failure to Success in Selling, from Frank BETTGER. I highly, highly recommend it. An amazing book that was written back in the early 1900s. It was endorsed by Dale Carnegie. Maybe you know the name, yeah? Phenomenal, phenomenal book that very few people know about. Be sure to check it out. And of course, for more videos just like this, for more book studies, be sure to subscribe. We study this stuff, but not only do we study it, but us and our team, our clients, we put it into action. So check the links down below. There may be an option for you to join our next book study group to study a little deeper, providing you're willing to put into action what you learn. Because frankly, knowledge is no good if it's only here. Knowledge isn't true knowledge until it's applied. So thanks again. I'm Jason from GetUncommonResults.com. Check out the links down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.